Good afternoon. I just wanted to check in. I know this cold has gotten a lot of you nervous because your ponds look like this and all iced over, and many of you are getting a little nervous as to what's going on in your pond. And I know some of you out in Newport have bigger headaches than your water features, but in either case, this cold snap has really closed up a lot of ponds. And as you can see over my shoulder, usually there's an opening right there in the ice, which is usually key to keeping a pond fish happy and healthy over the winter time. But there's an exception. If you have an aerator on your pond, we don't usually worry about it. You can see right here, I've got an aerator in a container right there, and it's blowing air. Let's take a closer look at what's going on. So for many of you, this is what's happened. The pond is iced over. You can see I'm standing on it. This ice is pretty thick. And my air stone is right here because you don't want it in the deeper parts of the pond. The air stone is up on one of the shelves, about 14 inches down. And when we hit that cold snap, that ice closed right over. And I suspect over the next couple of days with the cold going on, well, breaking a little bit here and some rain, that's going to open up just fine. But I want to show you what happens. We don't worry about all this because when you're using a deep water aerator, now key is you can see all this water on top. Even though these aerators are intended for the winter and being outdoors, we still protect them and put them in a Rubbermaid container. But this is what's happening. The aerator is still doing its job. It's bubbling up underneath that ice. We don't panic. Envision an aerator acting like creating a pond like a big balloon. It's trying to blow it up like a big bubble, but the ice is keeping it from moving. But the air is finding its way out. It's forcing the gases into the pond. There is an air pocket right in here. And the air is finding its way out. So the toxic gases are still leaving. Oxygen exchange is happening. And but I know that this can be a little unnerving for a lot of you because you've just been programmed. I have to have an opening. I have to have the aerator running. If you are nervous, what you want to do is some people have taken a pot of boiling water. So when your pond is iced over like that, now if you don't have an aerator, that's a different story. Again, don't panic. Typically, I haven't seen too many situations where fish die from the pond being iced over for like a day or two. On average, I've seen them go a couple weeks and be fine. But there are exceptions to that. If you have a lot of big fish in a small pond, or if you did not do a good job of putting a net on your pond and keeping the leaf debris out over the winter time, you have bigger worries because you have a lot more organic matter in there that's breaking down, releasing those toxic gases into the water, and that's what's going to kill fish. So in your case, yes, you do want to get right on getting an opening in the ice as soon as you identify that there is a problem. It's not like a split-second thing, so please don't panic or hurt yourself because I know a lot of you, there's lots of things out there that have said go and use pots of boiling water. The rule of thumb is you just don't want to smash the ice. By taking a sledgehammer or something and chipping away at that ice, you can actually give your fish a concussion and do more damage to the fish than the hole or lack of hole would ever do. The biggest thing I find is drill out a hole. It's the fastest. Like in a situation like this, I'll do a video later as to when we just use a big drill bit and we'll drill a hole safely into the ice, just like you're kind of going ice fishing. And then I'll just drop my air stones for my aerators down there. With aerators, I find them to be just far more efficient than heaters, and because the old-fashioned heaters, you can take an old-fashioned pond heater and put it on this ice and it will burn a hole right through, nice and safe, no work, and it'll maintain that opening. But most people don't realize that they're the equivalent typically of running a hairdryer 24/7. So highly reliable, but blow a lot of electricity doing so. And so in this particular case, we use the deep water aerators. They're just like working like an aquarium aerator. They're blowing air bubbles in the pond, but they're doing a lot of it. And they only consume 40, 50 watts of electricity, extremely energy efficient, and they're doing the best of both worlds. Usually it'll maintain an opening in the ice, but in deep colds like this, it can close up. And but I don't worry about it. As long as I hear my aerator running, and as long as I can hear the bubbles underneath the ice, I don't sweat it. But if I want to confirm and I want to check on things, I will take just one of the old aerator heaters, lay it on there, let it melt the hole through the ice, or I'll take a big drill if I have my drill handy and drill out a hole and make sure that I hear the bubbles blowing in there. And that's it. I'll show you some of the tricks later. I'm going to try to get some drills and get some videos on what to do in this case. It is a serious problem, but at the same time, if you have an aerator, it's not a problem, only if your pond is stagnant. So hope that helps. I know many of you are really nervous, and for rightfully so. Your babies are down there. And so we're going to throw out quick here, and the rain that's coming will help take the edge off of everything. But we still got a long winter to go, so just make sure your aerators are running, and everything should be good. Take care.